Hi there. Hey, I'm Jen Rice, and you saw by my title, how do you use this best case scenario, worst case scenario testing to make really any decision that you're having some anxiety over? Like how do you figure out how to make the best decision, right? Because a lot of times we can live in indecision because we don't want to make the wrong decision. And lately, I've been making several decisions. For those of you who don't know me, I live in Naples, Florida, but I'm getting ready to, we're packing up, and Dennis and I are moving to Lexington, South Carolina, in a town called Irmo, which is sort of by Lake Murray, and it's a big change for us. So I actually I watch a lot of Marie Forleo. For those of you guys who maybe follow her, you can check her out if you don't know anything about her. She has a YouTube channel, as well as you can get emails from her. She's really awesome. She's an entrepreneur, sort of a coach, if you will. She definitely does some success coaching. And anyway, I was following her, and I wanted to share her tips on when you're really struggling with a decision and you don't know whether to, say yes, say no, you're stuck in the I don't know, there's a lot of anxiety around it. She actually had 4 tests that you can do, but the 2 that I want to share today are the best case scenario test and the worst case scenario test. And basically, I did this, of course. I wanted to try this out, see how it would work for me. And I see you guys jumping on. Thanks for being here. I'm kind of talking about not living in indecision and sort of moving into a yes, moving into a no, but moving into something. And lately I've definitely been doing that. So with the worst case scenario test, what the heck is that? So the worst case scenario test is specifically writing down how would you deal with things if like the worst case scenario happened. Like, for example, I moved to South Carolina, and I absolutely hate the weather, and I don't know, lose my job, and I don't know, whatever. You're writing down everything that could be like a worst case scenario and how you would, though, troubleshoot it to move on, which is actually a really cool exercise to go through, because it takes away the fear of the unknown, because you've already written down, well, if this happens, I'll go to this plan. I'll go to this next step if that happens. And it can be really comforting and actually push you towards making a decision. And so my favorite, though, more than the worst case scenario test, was her best case scenario test. So I'm sharing what Marie Forleo shares. There's actually 4 tests you can do if you're like living in an anxiety state of trying to make a decision and you're not sure which way to go. Hey Judy, good to see you. Thanks for being here. So Marie says next to do a best case scenario test, which I like the best case scenario test because I like looking at it turning out to be the best, right? Not like, I don't like the worst case scenario test as much as I enjoyed writing the best case scenario test. So with that, you write down what you think the payoffs will be by doing what you're going to do. What will you learn? How will you grow? Maybe how will your life be enriched? What will, are there freedom upsides? Are there financial upsides? Hey Diane, thanks for being here. Good to see you. So, of course, when I was writing down South Carolina, I'm trying to write, okay, what would be my payoffs? What are the financial upsides? What are the freedom upsides? Like, if everything went exactly how we hope they'll go, like what would be the upsides of that? And so that can help you when you're using that test alongside the worst case scenario test. You kind of give yourself that room to go ahead and make your decision and move forward. Now, one cool thing she talked about, which I'll add, is there's actually a physical test where you can notice, how you feel in the moment that you're thinking about the decision you want to make. Like, I want to start a new business. I want to begin this new job. I want to move to South Carolina, whatever. Basically, if you feel yourself either expand or contract, so you kind of have this feeling of either lighter, brighter, like it feels bigger to you, or it can feel constricting, suffocating, that kind of thing. And if you can kind of go on those feelings. You know, I think that can work for some people. Maybe it'll work for you. I don't know if you guys have tried this before. If you do go on your feelings more than kind of the analytical best case, worst case scenario, I'd love to hear if you're kind of someone that uses just your gut on most stuff, because I think that can be really helpful. Now, the fourth test, which I love, is the work it test. And she says that basically, you know, we can sit there and I can write out my best case scenario, I can write out my worst case scenario, I can use my feelings, but that's all happening like up here between my ears, right? And it's not really, it's not reality. It's sometimes, like she was talking about, you just have to go experience it. You have to just go, get into it. Whether it's, like, say, a new job, new town, new business, new whatever it might be for you, test drive, test run it. Also, I think it's really important for us to remember that most decisions aren't permanent. They're not forever. They don't have to be forever. We can pivot. We can change the direction we're going. Things are not permanent. We live in actually life is not permanent, right? So I love the idea that we can pivot and that really most decisions aren't permanent. So, you know, hopefully these 4 tests that she had helps you as well, or someone you know, if they're kind of struggling with, you know, maybe having anxiety over, is this going to be a growth move for me? Should I use an intuitive hunch? You know, how should I make this decision? If you feel like this video could help them, please consider sharing it. And I really appreciate you guys. A lot of you guys are saying gut feelings for me. Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I definitely think I try to let my gut steer me. I think sometimes you can have practicality sort of wave in a little bit too. But yeah, I think going with your gut is really key too. And probably not everything is... you're not always going to know if it's going to be the right decision, right? But the beauty of the experience is that it's okay if we do make a wrong decision. You can usually unring the bell, double back, come back to what you do. You know, anything can be, most things can be undone. So I hope you guys will make that decision, do that thing you've been thinking of, lean into the anxiety. I know I'm trying to do that so that I can move myself forward, and I hope you guys have a great week. And if you like this content, I do have a Facebook page, Jenn Rice International. There's some other video content there too, as well as a website. I hope you guys have a great week, and see you soon. Thanks for watching.